The Morgan Report with David Morgan.
David Morgan of themorganreport.com for the week ending 23 September 2022. Well, let's get right into it here. This is not going to be the good news broadcast, not that any of them are, but as you can see here, all the metals are down. I'm doing this trading day still open, about 3 hours left. Gold's holding up better than the other three. Silver's down almost 4%. Platinum, palladium, both off almost 5%. Palladium a little more than 5%. But if we come over here to the Dow, it's making a new low for the year. It's off this time over 600 points. And I do believe the stock market highs are in. I've said that many times now. And I don't think it's going to do much better for the remaining part of this year. We'll find out. Now let's get right into the good, the bad, and the ugly. I just received this today, 23rd. Dear Sir, Madam, I thought you might be interested in knowing the following. Anglo Far East Bullion Company has closed, and it appears that clients that had their assets stolen from them. Philip Judge, the managing director of AFE, in a letter dated 14 September, addressed to all clients of AFE, admits that there was no physical precious metals left to cover client withdrawals because of malfeasance by the company's treasury director, Simon Heaps. I'm leaving this person anonymous. I am a client of the company, and I have no idea as to the extent of the fraud or how many clients of the company are affected beyond my own considerable losses. However, given that I found a few comments on the web from other clients who have been unable to sell their assets at AFE, suggests it could be a large number. Agreed. I can find no mention of the demise of the company anywhere on the web, so any exposure about this fraud, which might help inform existing clients of AFE what has happened with a view to at least attempt to recover some assets, would be appreciated. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm happy to share the letter from Philip Judge with you if you would like. Thank you for consideration of this matter. I did ask him for the letter. I don't know if he's hanging on and by every email. I might not get it for a few days. I might not get it. If I do get it, I will obviously put it on the next weekly update. So a little bit of background. I met Philip very early on in my treks through the precious metals bull market. It started in in 2000 or so. And what's interesting was when I met him and Simon Heaps, I was actually more impressed by Simon than Philip, but to reserve judgment. No pun intended. And what Philip had told me was something I already knew about how a lot of these storage facilities really aren't as secure, not so secure in a physical security idea, but in the ability to protect the owners. In other words, too many intermediaries involved. And he had this system that was a little more expensive and that he wanted to make it very private and very protected. And I bought into that story. I have lost metal, just for the record. I'm not going to tell you how much, but it's not a happy thought. And so I was actually promoting this somewhat. And to the best of my knowledge, I only had two people involved. One got out years ago. The other did not. Philip and company shut this down to U.S. investors some time ago, which is basically my clientele. So there's some worldwide, obviously. So I apologize to anybody. Whether or not it was Simon Heaps or not, I don't know. I mean, I know what this says, and I don't know the facts. It'll be interesting to see the letter if we get it. I'm not going to belabor the point. I'll just say a little more. I will. My niece actually has dual citizenship. And her second citizenship is in Panama. And she went to the office on my behalf, and it was closed down. Actually, at the time, it wasn't. There was a guard there, and he wouldn't let her in and give her access or anything else. And you can see if you type in Anglo Far East Bullion Company here on Google, it will tell you that it is permanently closed. So if I get more information, I'll share it here. As I said, I think I only had two people involved. Could be more. I don't know for certain. One came out, I guess, unscathed, and the other one, I think, was from New Zealand, which I've had correspondence with. And there is another gentleman in New Zealand I won't name because I want his permission, that he and I became very good friends because of Anglo Far East. And he sold quite a substantial amount for them. And it's a real heartbreaker. I've seen this in the past. As the old adage goes, you got to, hold it to, if you hold it, you're assured that you have it. Problem is, not everybody can, not everybody will. This doesn't take the industry as a whole, but it certainly is of concern, and that there are facilities that this may be a precursor to what may be coming out later on with other facilities that, let's say, John Adams has been working on. I've been of aid to him in a, I'll say, minor capacity, but in some help, definitely. So I'll leave it there. Not good news. Be careful. Next up, I want everyone that's interested in these video blogs, go to the main website, morganreport.com, hit the blog tab, go to the blog, and then I highly recommend that you watch this Crypto Conspiracy episode number 24. And this is what it looks like part the way through. It is an hour long, but it's probably worth your time. The title, as you can see, is the Crypto Conspiracy Podcast, episode 24, One World Digital Currency, What You Need to Know. There is a lot that you need to know, but the gist of some of the most important aspects was what Ken wrote here in his document, this PDF file, a slam dunk bet can be made that the BRICS World Reserve Currency will be integrated with ISO 222, which is the new payment single standardization approach methodology, to be used by all financial standard initiatives worldwide. So in essence, what he's saying is that BRICS really isn't bifurcating from the US dollar and making their own thing and going against the dollar. What he's saying is it's the Hegelian dialectic with problem, reaction, solution. And the solution is all currencies, BRICS included, go into the new system. That was an eye-opener for me. Now, to back that up, if you do the hot link that's in that video or in the PDF file, and I'm not going to read this to you, but this is what it links to, and it's the Bank of Russia National Payment System Development for 21 to 2023. So if you go through this, this does verify what Kent said in the presentation. I won't scroll and make you go dizzy. If you're interested, you can read this and determine for yourself. So this resistance to the dollar with the BRICS seems at this point in time to be more of a ruse than a reality. Another important aspect of this talk, by the way, this is issue number 1 with Kent Lewis. I'll be doing number 2. Kent will be speaking at the Pill Expo in Salt Lake City in November. I think it's 12th and 13th. I will be speaking there myself. But shout out always to Catherine Austin Fitz. And this is a screenshot, I believe. And this talks about something most of our followers are aware of, which is that the official U.S. debt of $30 trillion is really not the whole story. Professor Skidmore went through and determined there's another $21 trillion. And then, as Kent points out from the Solari report, it looks like there was another 94.7 trillion that was used in, let's say, black ops that isn't required to be reported. So, as many have said in this genre of the precious metals / honest money / sound money have said, the printing frenzy has gone on for way too long, and the official numbers are probably not representative of the amount of fiat that has gone into the system. I could talk about this. The whole program, as I said, is about an hour long. Here's some highlights. But what does the ISO 222 in a digital currency or a central bank digital currency mean to you? It means they can, maybe not will, but they can, and I won't read them all to you, but freeze your bank account, give you no privacy, give you geographic spending limits, restrictions and limits on what can be purchased, restrictions on your savings, expiration date on currencies is possible. These are possibilities, not guarantees, but I think any thinking person could see the control power that would go into this CBDC. Negative interest rates would be possible, automatic tax collection, automatic collection of fines, tickets, child support, student loans, etc., direct account at the Federal Reserve Bank, local banks may cease to exist, carbon credits will be tracked and controlled, and he's got a couple hot links there. Elimination of fiat currency, in other words, a cashless society, and you'll make payments with your device, a chip in your hand, or the ID 2020. And the COVID jab, maybe I'll leave that to you to further investigate. And lastly, as Kent and I discussed, this ISO 222 specifies it's the initial launch of what's called FedNow. And FedNow is sort of a instant payment, kind of a PayPal thing issued by the U.S. Federal Reserve System. And according to what Kent and I went over, it's basically a precursor to the CBDC. Of course, there's efficiencies and that type of thing that is the selling point. You won't have a lot of intermediaries. You just do direct. It's fast. It's efficient. You get your receipt digitally right away. Yeah, all that's true. But where it will lead, I already outlined. So I'll go ahead and close out promoting the Red Pill Expo from G. Edward Griffin. I've been to a few. They are always really, really good. Some of the best conferences I've ever been to. And I have the honor of speaking this time. There's Ed and Alex Newman, who's content creator, well known to probably most people that are looking for freedom. And some of the speakers, Ed himself, of course, David Martin, big hero, Alex Newman, Sherry Jackson, here's Kent, Sheriff Mack, I've heard before, yours truly, and Dan Happel, and several others. You can go to the website. I won't scroll too quickly here. But again, it's in Salt Lake City in November 12th and 13th. And I believe they're going to stream it as well. So if you can't attend physically, I'm pretty sure that you can get it online. Yeah, register to attend or live stream. So if you can't attend, you can at least watch it via your computer. This is David Morgan of themorganreport.com signing out for another weekly perspective.